Take two. What's your body telling you that you are not actually hearing? And I'm wondering if you guys ever feel stuck with some of the stories about your body, like stories about how you look, or stories about how you feel, or stories about what you think other people are saying about your body, or how they think anything about you. And so this is a process that blows up stories and gives you a whole new way of looking at what am I telling myself and how's this working for me? And if it is not working for you, have I got a tool for you? And one of the reasons I can tell you about this is because I had a story that was so deep, so thick, that I was, I couldn't see myself out of a wet paper bag. My name is drbeth.com. I'm America's teenologist, and I am in love with inner teen energy. And I found it was my inner teenager that was helping me, but what felt like keeping me stuck. So, what I'd like to share with you guys today is how you too might find your inner teenager by hanging out with me. And you, Maureen said, yes, you sure might. I should have a Danger Will Robinson warning, warning. You will find your inner teenager when working with me. But the good news is, this is not your actual teenager. This is not like going back through what you went through when you were a
Yeah.
teenager. This is your mamma jamma, badass, powerful, courageous, curious, creative. It's your power energy in your body that many of us stuffed down when we were teenagers. Some of us didn't even ever step into it. We just became what I call the super 7-year old. And the super 7-year old is the part of us that is the good girl. It's the part of us that's organized, successful, planned, thoughtful, nice. What else? What else, Maureen? Super 7-year old, planned, thoughtful,
Perfect,
logical,
perfectionist.
Yeah.
perfectionist.
That's
Yes,
what I was trying to think of.
yes, has to do it perfect. Anything else, Robin?
Not, I think you, no, I think you encapsulated it well.
Okay, so the super 7-year old, I would say 75 to 85% of the people on the planet are still there.
Mhm.
And I find that I
She's
get,
very helpful.
yes, she is. And as one of my really good friends says, don't be hard on the super 7-year olds because they're the good ones in life, Alice. So,
Nice.
so what I would say about this super 7-year old is she's brilliant, she's educated, she's smart, she is rational, logical, and sometimes can keep you in a box. Sometimes can draw some lines from the past that we really don't need to keep ourselves in, that
Mm.
haven't been working for us. So the inner teenager busts us out of that box. But
Mhm.
sometimes the inner teenager scares another little character in our inner family zoo, and that's our inner 3-year old to death. So when you hear most people talk about the inner child, I call that one the inner 3-year old, little b. That's my little b. And the inner 3-year old is our raw, vulnerable, um, just raw and real emotions. And all three of these emotional states can be either not working for you or you're in your total bliss and power. So when your little inner 3-year old is not working for you, you're hiding under the covers. When your inner 3-year old is working for you, you are just dancing around. You are loving life. Woo, 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 woo. You don't have a care in the world. You are just having a good time. When your super 7-year old is not working for you, You are feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling stressed out. You're feeling tense. You're feeling like you can't do it all. You literally feel like a second grader that's in charge of the world. And you're sitting there behind your little school desk and you're trying to get all your papers in order and you're trying to handle everything you're supposed to handle, your bills and your health and your weight and your this and your that. And that super 7-year-old can just snuff out your
Mm.
life force, can snuff out your life force, and has a way of impacting our bodies. The positive super 7-year-old is dialed, styled, organized, has it handled. You're in the zone. Can you guys ever relate to that moment when your super 7-year-old is just like, to-do list, what to-do list? Like we got this thing done. We got it dialed and styled. Okay. So sometimes when the super 7-year-old's really, really, really stressed out, it causes our inner teenager to go into a negative mode. I call it tagging yourself, where you actually unintentionally slash intentionally try to put the super 7-year-old to sleep. So you can do this with a glass of wine. You can do this with just making yourself go unconscious and missing the turn. You can do this with there's a gazillion ways. Your inner teen has an endless possibilities of sabotaging you when she does not feel heard, gotten, loved, and understood. Can you guys relate? Or does this just sound like jibberjaw? Jean Antoine, you especially, because this is new for you. So is any of this sounding because I can be a little weird in my uncommon common sense for sure.
Jean, you're muted.
Yeah, it's actually not totally new. Barb has told me a lot about this.
Go Barb, go Barb.
I really like the breaking. I mean, I do inner child work professionally as well as in my own personal life. And I just like the way you've broken it out into multiple characters, different stages. And I think I've found that really helpful.
The only part that confuses me is that these are sort of archetypes, and the inner child work I've done has really been my 7-year-old or my 3-year-old, and which takes me back to, when I the various childhood traumas as well as other positive childhood experiences. But this is, according to Barb, this is very different than going back to me when I was 7, me when I was a teenager.
Yeah, it's not specific memories that we're reprocessing as much as how does our inner psyche, how does our inner intellectual selves process?
It's the emotional state of what we learned way back then. It's everything that we've brought and we're telling ourselves from that emotional state from the past.
But you're taking like a general 7-year-old and making it the same for everyone, whereas obviously we were each very different when we were 7.
Yes. Yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
not going back to my 7-year-old. I'm going back to this archetype.
Correct, correct. And you will be laying your own glasses of your own super 7-year-old experience on top of what I'm talking about. So your way of showing up in the world as a super 7-year-old will be very different than Maureen's, mine, Barb's. We have, for example, my super 7-year-old will never measure up to Maureen or Robin's. Their super 7-year-olds are like off the charts, amazing, dialed, styled. And I pretty quickly in my educational process, I was more a rule bender. Some might call a rule breaker earlier on, whereas some and I'm not going to put Robin and Maureen in that box. That's not true. But I'm just saying they have a very smart, beautiful, systemized, structured, and I appreciate the way they think things through. So one of the things that I want when I'm in the process of something, I'm wanting to go to someone that has that aspect of themselves very dialed and styled. And I appreciate that. If you're looking for a fun inner teen, guess who you want to go to?
My
Barb
lovely wife. Yeah.
Barb buys. So she and I are more the inner teen world, and so different people, and others are very raw and vulnerable, and they're super soft, and they're very comfortable in their 3-year-old energy. So all of these are energies. So let's talk about how these inner family members, these inner emotional states, impact our body. So I've got a question for you guys. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you absolutely love and adore your body? Like you are just madly in love with your body. And if you want to, you can put it in the chat or give me a number on screen. However you want to give it. Do it with your hands or put it in the chat. 1 to 10. So 6, 1, Maureen, 9. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So I used to be a 1. I used to be a 1. And when I started this process, I was I hated my body. I was at war with my body for at least the first 30 years of my life. And now I'm a 10. I love this body. And I've gone through cancer, and I've gone through weight loss up, down. I've gone through aging. I've gone through, I'm so grateful for this body. And the difference is not necessarily how my body looks or how my body feels, but how I feel about my body. So that's the first question. The second question is, how confident are you in your body? How much do you trust that your body actually has your back? Like your body's working for you instead of your body is in battle with you. 1 sucks, 10 bliss. What number would you give yourself?
Those were two different questions. This is me with my super 7-year-old on
I,
the screen.
I didn't know if that was going to fly or not. I knew I had two things in there. So give me two numbers, Maureen. So
My first answer was a confidence in my body is probably a 6 or 7. How that I trust my body and it's taken care of, 9.
that you take care of your body, or your body takes care of you?
I'd say both, that I trust myself taking care of my body and my body's taking care of me. But the confidence in my body is more like a 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So interesting. Okay. What about
where
you?
I'm at too? I'm at probably a 6 for trusting, or excuse me, confidence in my body. And I'm lower for trusting my body with all my chronic stuff. It's hard to trust my body.
What number would you give yourself?
4.
Okay. What about you, Jean?
Give me the questions again.
So on a scale from 1 to 10, how confident are you in your body?
I'd say 7.
And how much do you trust your body?
How much do I trust my body? Explain that more.
So does it feel like your body is you can't trust what it's going to do? You can't trust it's going to gain weight. You can't trust it's going to lose weight. You can't trust if it's just going to get cancer. You can't trust if it's going to anything, have a symptom. You can't trust if it's going to ache or hurt or traumatize you.
There's so many things in there. I would say, depending on which one of those I chose, I range from a 3 to a 9.
Okay, great. Great.
Those are very different. You know, how I feel about my body in terms of health and illness is really different from how I feel about my body around weight gain.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. What about you, Barb? You want to play or you want to just listen?
Oh, I can play a little. I just I had a vaccine yesterday, so I'm not feeling very good. I would say at 9 about
confident
in my body.
And trust?
Well, I'd say a 9. It's interesting though, because I have this pacemaker. But yeah.
I got it.
Not at your.
So So, and what about how much you absolutely adore and love your body?
Me?
Mhm.
Probably a 7.
Okay. All right. I'm a 10 on those two. Confidence in my body and trust in my body. I am a 10. The reason I am a 10 is because I choose to be a 10. I choose it every day. And when it comes off of a 10, I re-choose to trust my body. I re-choose to have confidence in my body. So, not like it is a truth, but like it is a choice. Robin?
Yeah, I like that.
So when I was going through cancer in 2019, I was scared. I was scared. I didn't know what was going to happen. I had no idea what was going to happen. And I pretty quickly, I'm not sure how fast, but I got through the whole cancer process in 2 months. So it was probably within the first, I'm going to say 2 weeks. I got from this is happening for me and not to me.
Mm-hmm.
And usually in life, I can get to this is happening for me and not to me in about, usually less than a minute. So because that's just that's the way my body and my mind and my emotional states, that's the story. That's the story, and that's what I live myself into. What's P and D about this? What's perfect and divine about this? So last question. Let's see if this one's any different. On a scale from 1 to 10, how sexy, strong, flexible, and I know it's 3 different questions. How sexy, strong, flexible do you feel in your body?
Sexy, strong, flexible. It really is very different. Average of 7.
Okay.
I feel pretty sexy. I feel strong. I'm not as flexible as I want to be.
Okay. What about you, Maureen?
I probably average a 6, ranging from 3 to 9.
Okay. Which is which?
Sexy 1, strong 10, flexible 8. So I guess the average is higher. Oh no, the average is probably, yeah. My sexy's in the bottom of the barrel.
Dang, and that's the easiest one so I'm so excited for you, Maureen. I am so excited for you. That one in particular is the absolute easiest to transform in this process.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
I'm telling you. Okay, what about you, Jean? What?
I am very, very similar to Maureen. I would say 0 for sexy. And all of this has changed just in the last few years. I'm 79 now, so things, and I would say strong, I would have probably said 10 almost my entire life. And now that I'm almost 80, and I'm still lifting weights and exercising every day, things have changed just in the last, I'd say, 6 months for me drastically. And so I'm not sure where I am on strength. I don't know, maybe it's like if I think about it as me compared to other women my age, I'm a 10. If I
For
think
sure.
about it as me
Right?
compared, I think about it as me compared to what I used to be,
Mm.
then I'm like a 4. And flexibility, actually, I was just doing yoga this morning. I do yoga a lot. Again, if I compare myself to other people my age, I think I'm off the charts. And if I compare myself to a 30-year-old or how I was even just 5 years ago, it's not so great.
I love that. I love that, Jean. Okay, I am also on this one a 10, a 10, and a 10.
And I'd like to say,
Tell me what
Dr.
you'd
Beth
like.
Albert, that you have worked really, really hard to get where you are, to be
Mhm.
10, 10, 10. It's
Thank
anyway,
you. Thank you. Yes, it has not always been this way. And it is not. Have you guys seen the movie I Feel Pretty?
Yes.
This is
Amy,
a must see, Gene. Must
Amy
see.
Schumer.
What's her name?
Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer, right. So in the movie, I'll give you the Cliff Note version. In the movie, she is a little bit overweight and she feels frumpy, she dresses frumpy, she acts frumpy, and then she bumps her head and she then has this epiphany that she's drop dead gorgeous. And she starts acting drop dead gorgeous. She thinks she is, she feels it, acts it, and her entire life transforms. So, this experience that I am offering everybody is an experience of not necessarily transforming the outer visible. It does do that. And I'm going to give you some examples here in just a minute. And it doesn't have to do that. It is, how do I have control over how I feel at 80, at 90, at 100? How do I get to control how I feel with cancer, with a pacemaker, with with fibromyalgia? How do I get to feel with a broken foot, a broken leg, when I can't do the stretch, but I can still be stretchy over here or give myself permission? Every week I go to Stretch Lab, and my goal is to get back to where I was when I was in my 30s. I was almost a black belt in Taekwondo, and I could put my foot straight up and I could do splits this way, and that way. So every time I come into the Stretch Lab, I say, so just to remind you, my goal is to be able to stretch this way, and that way. So what are you guys hearing so far about what's your body telling you? What are you aware of? And more importantly, what would you like to get out of this short amount of time that we're together? Let me just stick with that. What do you want to get out of, based on what you just learned about yourself? What do you want to get out of this? Robin?
Just a firmer sense of that mindset shift, right? I mean, I love how you talk about it with yourself. Like, it's not about what we do or experience on our external selves, but it's about what do we choose? What do we believe in our internal selves? And how does that manifest in our external selves?
Exactly. Word. How about you, Jean? What are you?
Yeah, I want to be learn to be a 10 and everything just like you.
Oh, awesome. All right. Well, you're in the right place. What about you, Maureen? What would you like to get out of this based on what you just learned about yourself?
More open-minded, or trust and confidence in the I that is attached to my body.
Yes.
Because I heard you just also say different things. So I'm really paying attention to one question leads me down one road, and another question leads me down another road. So
Well,
yeah.
and I'll even say this, depending on who's the listener, it'll take you down a different road.
Right.
If I'm listening from my inner 3-year-old, I'm going to have a whole different conversation. If I'm listening from my super 7-year-old, I'm going to have a whole different conversation. If I'm listening from my inner teenager, I'm going to have a whole different conversation. So part of this journey is getting in alignment with all aspects of our emotional states, so that we are dialed and styled in all these different questions, and you can pop a question in any direction. So which is the thing that's causing you the most pain right now? Is it energy pain, body pain, emotional pain, or some other sort of pain? Robin?
Oh, fuck. I don't know. All 42 of those things.
Okay. In any others that I didn't think of?
I mean, no, I definitely have body stuff. I definitely have depression stuff. Um, I don't know what else you said. I got stuck
Well,
on
I
this.
would also add, I need to add to that list, relational pain.
Yeah.
And how that relates to your body and in relationship with people.
Mm-hmm.
It could
Yeah.
also it could also be business pain. I can't work. Okay, so all of them for you, Robin. How
Kind
about
of. Yeah.
how about you, Maureen? Which one is the sweet spot for you?
For
Which
me, it's the I that's creating the pain. That is the limited I that I know is not really me, but is still running the show a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. And would you like to guess in my worldview who that is? The 3, the 7, or the team?
Super 7-year-old.
Yes, yes.
That's probably mine too. Got to do it all. Got to do it just right.
And I would say this is 99% of everybody's pain is their expectations are here,
Yeah.
their reality is here, and everything between here and here is hell. So there's 3 ways to transform your pain. 1, change your expectation. I'm 79. I am hot as a 79-year-old, feeling good, looking good. Dang, I love my 79 years. Lower my expectation. Reality. I can move reality. Okay. I know when I've lost weight in the past, I actually didn't eat as much sugar. And I actually worked out every day. And I actually was drinking the water. And I actually was blah, blah, blah. All the things the super 7-year-old knows to do. And you slowly do this. By the way, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm in a weight loss coaching program, and I'm down 6 pounds in the last 6 weeks. And if you'd asked me what I was 6 weeks ago, I was a 10. If you ask me now, I'm a 10. And when I drop the rest of the weight, I'm still going to be a 10. So being a 10 does not mean that I am stuck right where I am. Doesn't mean I'm not constantly growing. It doesn't mean I'm not into learning. It doesn't mean I'm not into improvement.
Mm.
It is, it's what is going to get me to the next level of greatest, grandest version of myself, having the most fun, compassion, and love for exactly who I am. That's the game I'm playing. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome to the party. So we're talking about what's your body telling you that you may not be hearing. And I just took everybody through on a scale.
Okay, so
Cheryl, are you in the What's Your Body Telling You seminar? I think you might be in the wrong spot. Okay, you're in the right spot. It's
sorry,
Maureen.
it's
Hi.
us. We forgot to mute. Hi, we're late.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I almost bumped you right off here. You got that video camera on. Perfect timing. Hi, is that your friend Cheryl? Hi, Cheryl. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Well, this is all recorded, so we'll be able to get you back. You can catch up with us in the process. But what I'm just about to do is tell you guys what I'm going to cover today. And this is the part I'm super excited about, because there's 3 ways we keep ourselves stuck. There's 3 ways we keep ourselves stuck. And one of them is that let's see, where did it go? One of them is that I just have the wrong thing in my mind. So I just could have the wrong thing in my mind. I have the wrong information. So that could be one thing. I haven't been educated. I don't know. It's the wrong thing. The second thing that it could be is that it's not my mind. Shoot, I had that so beautifully, and then I printed out. Oh, it was her mind causing what could be the pain. Oh, this makes me so mad. I had that so dialed. So there's oh, here it is. The pain is actually serving you to find the solution. So one is the pain is serving you to find the solution. Two is the pain is serving you to be the solution. The pain is the solution. And number three is the pain is serving you to rewrite your solutions.
Mm.
Now, there may be a gazillion more, but this is just what I came up in the last hour. I thought it was just brilliant. I'm just so excited about myself. So it could be that I'm not looking at it in the right order. I'm just, we just don't know what we don't know. And there's all these blind spots that we just don't know that what we don't know. And somebody told us that the world was flat, and we believed them, and we're still believing it, and we don't know what we don't know. And the second one is that if we did know, this one's really powerful. I'm going to give you some examples of these to make it make more sense. The second one is if I did know that it was actually causing me pain, I might actually not be able to do it anymore.
Mm.
So if I did know, if I let myself in on the gig, if I let my whole self in on how it was serving me, I may not be able to stay in the pain. It's kind of like alcoholism. It's hard to enjoy alcohol once you've claimed yourself as an alcoholic. You're in on the gig now. You now know that alcohol is destroying you, or you now know that alcohol is doing something to you, or if you've gone through AA, you've done your inventory, and it takes the joy out of the alcohol. Then it turns it into, no, not necessarily, Maureen. Or you say, no, not necessarily. And I'm willing to be wrong about that. So,
Some people have this experience, but maybe not everybody.
right. I've heard people talk about that something that says, once you enter these rooms, it messes up your joy of alcohol or something like that. Okay. The other one is, how is the pain? As long as you stay in the pain, you're getting pointed in a direction of all these plates that need to be solved. And if the pain goes away, then you're going to miss out on all these plates that need to be solved. So if pain was serving you, would you guys be willing to entertain the possibility that it is actually a good thing?
Tough one.
All right, Maureen says yes. Robin's holding tight on tough one.
I certainly like the idea of it.
Okay. So this is, you guys have heard me talk about all the time. I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. And what I have found in being willing to be wrong is my life. I found how good can I stand it? I found joy beyond possibility without changing the circumstances. I've been in relationship. It's been just horrible. And I found absolute bliss. I've been in health crisis, and I found ways to be in absolute bliss. I've been 60 pounds overweight, and I found ways to absolutely be in bliss. I have found, I had poison oak all over my body for 3 months, and I found ways to be in absolute bliss. So this is, and I'll tell you who my hero is. Viktor Frankl, In Search of Self, Man's Search for Meaning. He was in the camps, everything. Like, my life pales in comparison to anything he could even say in the first chapter. Like, I can't even, like, it, when I hear some of the things other people are doing where they've taken a dive at 16 and they're paralyzed from the neck down, or they've, I mean, I loved the stories of people, like even my mom, she's had a stroke for 21 years. And when the doctors ask her how she's doing, she said, "Oh my God, I'm treated like a queen." I mean, we get to say whatever we choose to say, and we get to be right. So my question for you guys is, everything you're saying, do you want to be right about it?
No.
Especially the things that are no longer serving you. Do you want to be right? Like, do you want to take that righteousness and take that rightness to the grave? Or are you willing to be wrong? And I can tell you, I'm willing, and sometimes I can't find it. I'm willing, and sometimes it takes me a minute to catch all parts of me up on that. And this process that I've developed is a process that I developed in 2001. It's probably the most powerful tool of my entire toolbox. And it's own your story so your story doesn't own you. And it's a step by step by step by step process. And I'm going to give you guys the first 3 steps. And for most people with most stories, this is your get out of jail free card. Life is story. Everything is a story. I'm going to give you the Cliff Note version, the end version. And if you just take this to the bank, you're done. You're done with me. You're done with everything. Take this one concept, take it to the bank, and you're done. And the concept is, every single thing I think is a story. Every single solitary thing I perceive, I experience, I'm privy to, it's all story. And if I feel like I'm holding on like a dog on a bone, but this one is the fact, this one is real, this one I get to be victim in, this one I'm hanging on to because I'm going to blame, and a gazillion other reasons we hold on to stories. So sometimes it's easier to see how a story's not serving you in relationship than it is in relationship with yourself. So that's one of the reasons that I wanted to start with, what's your story about your body and health? Because this one is the one, the tool is the same. And I've used this tool for weight loss. I've used this tool for, I can't figure out technology. I now teach technology. I'm so badass on technology. This morning was so funny. I was clicking on the webinar link, and I had something in Control C, Control V, and I pasted it in my webinar link, and I overrode in the contacts my webinar link. So it's 5 minutes before the webinar. I can't find my link to get here and join you guys. So I'm like, okay, I got this. And I was just laughing at myself. So in the past, that would have turned into, oh my God, I suck at technology. This always happens to me. I always do this. Story. And instead, my story was, I got this. I got 10 ways around this. If I can't get it on this computer, I got 2 more computers here. If this one won't work, I'll find it somewhere else. I got a village. I put a note out to everybody in the village. Could somebody please post the webinar link in the group screen? So with this process, with all of these beliefs, they either work for you or they work against you. And there's a benefit and there's a cost. So these are the 3 steps. 1, it's a story. 2, what's the benefit of this story? And 3, what's the cost of this story? And if you do those 3 things on the vast majority of everything in your life, you'll laugh hysterically at yourself. You will instantly be free of the stuck pattern, the stuckness. So for all of you that are like me, stubborn as a freaking mule and a rock, um, I'm not going to own that story. I'm not going to own that story. Um, in the past, in the past, I had to come up with this process. So I was at Landmark. Well, I was at Landmark and everybody was telling their stories and laughing hysterically. I was the one that went home with the story between my legs and went home with my tired story. And all night long I wrote this tool. And this tool is coming in from the top, coming in from the bottom, handling the 3-year-old, dealing with the 7-year-old, dealing with the inner teen, inside out, outside in. What's the cost of a news story? What's the benefit of a news story? What would I need to support a news story? In 2018, I did this on my business. And I'd been in my business for 20 years and I never achieved what I want to achieve.
Mm.
And I was so hard on myself. Now I am actually talking to Dr. Phil producers. And I'm like, it'll happen or it won't. It'll happen or it won't. Everybody is like, you're talking to Dr. Phil producers. And I'm like, yeah, we'll see. I'm okay who I am, whether I ever talk to Dr. Phil producers or Oprah producers, anybody else producers, I'm okay with that. And I'm ready. I'm ready. I've dealt with my 3-year-old, my 7-year-old, my teenager. I am dialed and styled. It's like, I'm ready to step into this. And if you'd asked me in 2018, I wasn't ready. If you'd asked me in 2006, when somebody gave me the offer to do Oprah, I wasn't ready. So what if our pain, what if our stops, what if our circumstances, what if our situations, what if they were all serving us? And all we need to do is understand how they're serving us, how to transform them, how to rewrite them. So I'm going to give you 3 quick stories on this example. 1, there was a kid. He was 17, scouted by the pros, and he came into my private practice office. He was a pitcher, and his right arm wouldn't move. Would not move. And they'd gone through every medical test. They'd gone to all the doctors, probably even searched Google, and and came into my office, and I was the last ditch effort. I was the last ditch effort. And what I did with him was I asked him this question: what could be perfect and divine about your arm not working? So give me some answers real quick. What could be a reason that would be perfect for a 17-year-old scouted by the pros and his arm stops working?
He
Slow
doesn't want to be
down.
a professional baseball player anyway.
Okay, maybe he doesn't want to be a professional baseball player. Cool. What, Robin?
Just was thinking like need to rest, like
Okay, good.
overtaxing his body.
Yep. Jean, can you think of one? Any others, Maureen?
He wanted attention.
Could be. Absolutely. Maybe the only thing he'd gotten attention on was his arm and he felt objectified. And he's 17 and he didn't know what his whole life was going to be like if he did get to become a pro. And then he lost his ability, got older, and he lost his ability. Who would he be? So anyway, we explored all this, and guess what happened to his arm?
Started moving.
It came back, and he's a pro as we speak. Number 2, woman is one of the top CEO executives in California. She was the boss of about 1,000 people, and she was on disability, and she was coming to me to get some help. And she had not taken a bath or shower for 3 months. She was living with her 90-year-old mom, and she could do nothing but stay in bed and watch Netflix and get paid by her company on disability. And I asked her the same question: what could be perfect and divine about this? And her first answer was, what do you guess? Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. There's nothing perfect and divine about this. Nothing, I tell you. And we started exploring. She started realizing, well, it's the only way I don't have to do everything for my mom. It's the only way I get to get paid and have a sabbatical for the first time in my entire life. It's the first time. And she just started going on and on and on and on and on. That night, she took a shower. And guess what she did with me the next day? Fired me.
I'm cured.
No, well, no, I don't want to be cured.
Oh.
This pain was helping me guilt-free stay home and have everything I needed. Now you just completely busted and blew my story that I really can get up and take a shower. It's not physical. Number 3, this one's on me. So years and years and years ago, I was on the rotation diet. I was on the Vanderbilt weight loss clinic. I was, you name a thing, beet. I ruined my love for beets. Beet diet. I mean, I can't even tell you everything I did. I was exercise, crazy exercise. I mean, I was doing everything right. I was doing everything right from a super 7-year-old world. I was whatever weight loss clinic and all the coaches and everything, and my weight wouldn't even budge. It wouldn't budge. And so I did this story tool on it. I came up with 30 reasons to be fat. 30 benefits of being fat. My mom was a prom queen and she wanted to turn me into a baby doll. I didn't want to be a baby doll. I wanted to be a basketball player and whatever. And I didn't want to be a baby doll. I didn't want to be a size 2, like the world said. And I was also working at Cadillac Standards for Excellence with Barb, and I was with all these men, and I am a lesbian. I didn't want to be hit on by men. So the hallucination was, if I was 60 pounds overweight, nobody would hit on me.
Mm.
And it was my way to go to my mom, who was trying to turn me into a prom queen. And I could go on and on and on and on. So in these 3 stories, the first story, the kid didn't know what he just didn't know what he knew. Then once he found out what he knew, boom, he's done with the story. The second one, she needed actually a year to be disabled. And then she was able to come back around, but she was able to love herself in that. So what I left her with was, there's a third option here, and it's being okay with what is. 1 is lower it, 2 is raise it, and 3rd is be okay with what is. And in my case, it was learning what are the specifics. So where do you guys think you are with the stories in your life? Is it more 1, 2, or 3? Which one resonates the most with you? 3 for you?
Big time working on acceptance.
Say what 3 is. Say what 3 was again.
3 is looking at what is, falling in love with what is, and then seeing all the P&D about what is in the process.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, let me tell you what happened. After I got through that process, the weight fell off. Nothing changed. I was still doing all the things. And it was like, I'm a size 2. Because I was okay being a size 2. I didn't know I no longer needed to do this to my mom. I was okay being around men hitting on me because I could just love up their attention, and I wasn't afraid of their attention. So all of the situations that had been serving me, I gave all of them a facelift.
Mm.
So go ahead, Maureen.
Sometimes what happens though is we're playing whack-a-mole. And we can deal with this over here, but then it pops up over there.
Okay.
So that's part of what I say what's happened with me and your conversation talking about it is I still at some level am the story I am telling myself, that I am the story. So it's not the story, it's me being the story.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes,
and
yes.
that's deeper than just transforming any particular story. Because if you don't get to that, then you're just going to end up, it's just going to, okay, this is better, but it's going to come up over there.
Maureen, mirror, 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 mirror. And the smarter we are, the more creative our whack-a-mole becomes. The more awake we are, the more we have to trick ourselves to have it utilize it the way it needs to be utilized. What I have found, and I've done this tool and I've done this process many, many, many times. One year I did it once a month, and we just repeated it. I had 14 women and we repeated it every month. And we took a different story: failure, sex, relationship, parenting, body, business, money. Like, we took every story that you could imagine and we unraveled the stories really, really fast. What I'm going to do on this process is I'm going to take a longer deep dive and really dig you guys into the tool so that you'll be able to use this tool in all the other stories of your life. And what I have found is when I've pulled up one story, it impacts all my stories. Because there's almost the same payoffs in almost every story. There's almost the same costs in almost every story. And it's helped me to get in touch with and really get to know your unconscious, which is your inner 3-year-old and how she sabotages you, your inner 7-year-old and how she sabotages you, and your inner teen and how she sabotages you, and how to get these little family members in alignment. So I have an offer for you guys to sample this, to play with me, if you're willing to let me share it with you. Have I earned your, and I'm just realizing it's 10:59. What an unconscious, beautiful thing I just did to myself. So I have a story right now I'm working on unraveling, and that is that I don't know how to sell a webinar. This is my story. And I'm in the process, real time, of unraveling this. And you're going to watch this over the next 6 months. You're going to watch how I am going to transform into a machine with this, because this is my goal to myself, and I'm going to see what plates come up, what plates keep coming up. Is my little 3-year-old scared to shine? Is my super 7-year-old feel like if I have more people that come and play with me that I'm not going to be able to do it right? Is my inner teen feel like I have less time to play? And so my journey is going to be to unravel this story while we're also unraveling the own your story, the own your body and health story. So may I share you with that, or do you guys need to go right at the top of the hour? Do I have permission to share? Yes? Okay. I'll go fast and I'll leave it with you, and then we'll wrap it up. So here. Oh, me. See, I had all that and then I couldn't find my
Oh my God, look at all those windows. How do you even do anything?
I don't know. It's crazy.
How do you know what's there? Oh my God.
This is welcome to my brain.
Oh my God. Woo, wait.
I have definitely the clench when I see that too.
This is just my this is one computer. All right. Move out of my way so I can get to it.
Back to, I guess, Maureen, why you and I are such good 7-year-olds.
Wow. I'm grateful I'm laughing at her instead of judging. I used to judge, so my judge isn't much in the
there's
room
definitely no
she used to
judgment
be.
either for me. It's more of like, that wouldn't work for my brain. That's all. Oh,
Well,
look
the
at that.
the
Gorgeous.
fabulous thing is
Gorgeous.
I used to be triggered by that judgment, and I'm no longer triggered by it, which is
Good.
so beautiful. I love it. It's like it's me being me. Okay, so here, this is the offer.
Oops.
Here we go. One more time. Take two. So this is a combo course that I will put a link in the in the chat. And this is a 6-month course. And it is a value of, I mean, I have so many things in this course. I'm so excited about it. And I'm not even going to tell you all about it because it'll just confuse you and you'll be like, I don't even know what she's talking about. So the 6-month course gives you the entire tool. So it gives you 6 months of the course. I'm also in the 6-month course am going to go through my entire 10 keys to compassion. So 1 week will be the key and falling in love with what is, and giving you an overview of my 10 keys and the whole interfamily process. And then the next week will be step 1 of own your story. And
I'm getting confused.
I
You're
know,
losing
I know it's so
me,
confusing.
Dr. Beth.
It's a rotation of the two different pieces, the 10 keys and the own your story, and alternating rotation. So we learn the principles and exercise the principles in the own your story process.
That is correct. So for example, right here on what you get in the sampler is week 1, you get a 10 key overview. So you get an overview of all the keys. Week 2, you get the own your story power hour. And the own your story power hour see, that's not in the right order. So anyway, so week 1 is the 10 keys and the inner family. Week 2 is the power hour. Week 3 is key 1, compassion. Week 4 is the power hour, the second step of the power hour. So it's an alternating course that lasts for 6 months. One of them is going to give you everything you need for your inner family to help you feel loved and give you the support and give you the accountability and everything that I'm talking about. It's like, that's great, Beth, but how do you get there? Those are really pie in the sky ideas, but how do we do that? The 10 Keys to Compassion is a year-long course that I take each key month by month by month. In this beginner's course, I'm going to take each key for 1 week. So this is for beginners. And then the bonus for anybody that signs up now is you also get to be a part of the power hours,
which are wonderful.
The family power hours and the success driven women power hour. And all of this is a value of over $10,000, and I'm offering it for $297 for 1 month to give you a taste. So it's
this is just 1 month. This is not 6 months because it sounded like it was 6
You've got 2 options. This is the beginning, the sampler of the 6 months. So this gives you a taste of the 6 months. This is the first month of the 6 months. If you like it, then you'll be able to continue. But for right now, this gives you the chance to get the entire toolkit, get the entire list of the 10 keys, get the entire overview of the inner family. And then if you want to go into more of a deep dive, then you can continue to work with me for the rest of the 6 months. Or
and that is the $297.
It's $297 for 1 month.
Okay.
And
what day and what time?
It's going to be on this exact time on Wednesday mornings at 10 o'clock and
8 o'clock Pacific.
8 o'clock Pacific. And let me put in the chat. Do you guys see the share?
Not anymore.
No, the share went away.
Okay. I had it in here so I would be so prepared and it disappeared. So do you guys have any questions about the offer?
Nope.
All right, here it is. Copy link. Oh, whoops. I see why it wasn't there because it was to a direct person.
Hmm.
Okay, can you see it now? So this is
No.
Yes.
all right. So
But you can.
what, Robin?
I still can't, but you can, Maureen.
Yeah, it's in the chat and I copied it and
Oh, in
put
the
it.
chat.
Yeah, it's in the chat. I'll also send it to you.
Yes. Oh, that's, I see. Yes, I have that link.
No, this is a new one. This is a new
Oh,
one.
great. Okay.
Just created it this morning.
Nice.
So that's what I'm so excited about. So that people can have a chance to just taste it.
I think it's so smart. So smart.
So any takeaways, you guys? What's
Yeah.
your takeaway, Maureen?
That I'm clear on what I want and I'm clear on I'm clear on what would work for me now. And I'm really grateful to be with you and your brilliance. I'm grateful to be with your community. And I appreciated yeah, I'm taking away gratitude for being here.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I've got gratitude you're here too. Robin, what's your takeaway?
Yeah, I'm with Maureen. I'm feeling gratitude and a lot of excitement. Well, and I'm exploring this sampler. Just that my takeaway is that's such a great offer, and I'm excited to share it with a few people because the big ticket was very overwhelming for a lot of folks. So I think this is really smart.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
did you come last week, Robin?
Well, I'm already working with Beth. And I'm excited just to get it from the beginning. I kind of jumped in the middle with some things, and I'm doing her coaching program, or sorry,
Coach the pros.
Coach the Pro program, and integrating it into my therapy practice. And so I'm excited to be doing the kind of process from the start.
So she's been my number one supporter in get this out. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
And helping me find people. And I'm like, okay, but I've got to have at least 20 people before I start this 6-month course. And she's like, 20? I'm like, okay. So
my sisters are doing it with me as well. So I'm excited for all of that.
All right, Barb, you want to play? Or any takeaways? Are you sleeping?
She's in the kitchen. You're on mute, baby.
All right. Is she going to say anything?
Having a hard time. There you go.
Okay.
Did you unmute me?
Yeah. No,
you are unmuted.
You are unmuted.
Yeah, I'm not feeling the best, but I'm very excited about it. And I also agree with Robin that this is the month thing is perfect.
Super smart.
And yeah, and I think I'm going to talk with Jean a little bit more here.
Mm-hmm.
She must have had to go.
Yeah, she had another conflict. She actually was able to stay most of the time, and she wasn't expecting that. So something else. So she had to take the call.
Awesome. Awesome, you guys. I just love you all so much. Thank you.
Love you too.
Thank you for being in my village. Thank you for showing up. And thanks for your belief in me. Mwah.
Love you, love
Nice
you.
to meet you,
Your
Maureen.
brilliance.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're
Feel better,
brilliant.
Garbis. Feel better.
Oh,
Bye.
it's just a vaccine.
I know.